let's say Brewer has, we're going to give each of you some sort of company, some kind of company. Okay, Brewer, what kind of company are you going to have?
Construction.
Oh, see, you could have had any company you wanted. We'll make it construction. All right. Okay, Sean.
Some sort of food situation.
Okay.
Say, food distribution.
Food distribution. Okay. Like a Cisco or something like that? All right. Lonnie.
Pet store.
A pet store. Okay. Exotic pets or?
Sure.
Okay, Ron, what about you?
Chemical manufacturing.
Chemical manufacturing.
We've heard that.
Did you hear Lonnie?
You heard it.
What are you doing that?
All
Moving to the
right.
next person.
Sophia.
That'll be a car dealership.
A car dealership.
On the exotic car dealership.
Everything.
All right. Mark.
Stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals.
Novelties. All right.
So if Lonnie's pets die, you'll stuff them? Is
That's
it
right.
that kind of
Exactly. Taxidermy.
taxidermy? Lily, what kind of business are you going to have?
Pink. A pink business.
A pink business.
She's a silent partner.
Everything is pink.
Yes.
Run the Chicago Bears franchise.
Okay, and Evelyn, what kind of business?
I'm going to be a swimming pool cleaner. Cleaning swimming pools.
Pool cleaner.
Pool cleaning.
I'll say the chemical.
That's it.
Chemicals.
Alrighty, still haven't given Lily anything.
Painter.
A painter.
Yes. Painting. Lily's got painting. Pink paint.
Okay. Alright, now. So now we have a little miniature economy amongst us right here. We don't have a whole lot of things that we can take care of each other with, but there we are. So let's say that Brewer wants his pool cleaned. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Brewer wants his pool cleaned. He's in construction and he wants his pool cleaned. So he comes over to Evelyn and he says, Evelyn, I'd like for you to clean my pool, my home, and in exchange, I'm going to give you construction services. Now that works out easily if Evelyn can use his construction services. Boom, we're done. So many pool cleanings for so much in construction. And everything's groovy, we're done. But what if Evelyn says,
Oh. I love construction.
but what if you don't
say, oh, I don't have
a need for that? Or want
yes,
for
I
that?
don't have a use for construction at the moment. At the moment, I don't have a use for construction.
Now, Brewer.
We'll send over my caterpillar and take out our house, and now she does.
Right.
Create a need.
Right. So Brewer doesn't, that's not a bit. He doesn't have what she wants. She has what he wants, but, you know, see, so it's not going to work yet. Situation doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But Evelyn may say, you know what? I could use, though, a car. You understand? Either one of them could initiate that next step. This is what you start to learn in trading. Brewer could say, well, since he's the aggressor in this situation, he wants to get his pools clean, and she doesn't particularly need what he has. He could say, well, what could you use? Hey, what about a car? And Evelyn says,
Wow.
yeah, now I'd take a car. Okay, so far, Evelyn wants a car. Brewer has construction that he can offer. And if the car person, Sophia, car dealer, is willing to take what Brewer has, are you staying with me? Then a deal could be done. It would be a three-legged exchange. Understand?
Right.
Brewer could give her construction. She gives Brewer the car. Brewer gives the car to Evelyn. Evelyn gives Brewer the pool cleaning. Got it? Now that would be a lot of pool cleaning. That could be pool cleaning for the rest of your life. Depending on how nice that car is.
There you go. I love it.
This kind of bartering and trading is done every single day. The professional side of that kind of bartering, that's actually called barter, is done with real estate. What are they called? I forget the name of that tax-free exchange, but where someone with an apartment complex will trade someone that has commercial properties. It'll trade. It's 1031. 1031 tax-free exchange. And the largest one was like 28 legs. Multi-millions of dollars that it took to put the whole thing together. But let's say Sophia does not want construction. She's just finished building her dealership and she built a brand new home and she still doesn't want your doggone construction, Brewer. Then Brewer could say,
what do you want?
There you go. What do you want?
Well, I have a gang load of kids, so I'll take some stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals. So now, Brewer then finds someone with stuffed animals. Now we've done this. As a matter of fact, this is one of, you ask what did Sophia do? This is one of the things we've done. Where she'd get on the phone, I say, okay, Sophia, find someone who has whatever. Find someone who wants this. Find someone, for bigger deals, for deals we did. Weren't you working with me when we did the deal with the cruise ship down the intercoastal and that whole thing? Yeah. Where someone had a wedding. Was it a wedding?
I don't
And they
remember,
wanted to
but
go.
I remember they wanted cable advertising.
That's
so then
right.
we had to find a cable company that would be willing to trade in exchange for yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just so happened to want to do the yacht because they wanted to do a party or something. So that kind of worked out. That was the end. It started to get a little bit complicated. It started with somebody that wanted forklifts or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy. And we had, our resource was the Yellow Pages. We weren't in an exchange at that point.
No, we just did our own trading. Because I know the principle. And the principle I'm telling you now. As a matter of fact, where is that article, Evelyn? Did I leave it? It's probably in my briefcase. A gentleman traded.
Oh yeah, that was great.
A large red paper clip for a home in Canada. It took 12 exchanges, but he traded a big paper clip for a 3-bedroom home that he and his girlfriend now live in. Took him a year and 12 trades to go from a paper clip to a house, to his own home. Now think about it. So this is what we're talking about. This trading. So finally, Brewer, she says, stuffed animals, and Brewer says to Mark, doggone it, you gotta want something built, buddy. Another warehouse for those stuffed animals. And Mark says, you know what? I could use a warehouse. So now, Brewer provides the warehouse to Mark. Mark provides the stuff that Brewer could direct Mark to just, okay, here's where I want you to send these stuffed animals. Mark sends the stuffed animals to Sophia. Brewer directs Sophia to send the car to Evelyn. And now Evelyn, of course, does the pool cleaning for Brewer. And without Brewer having to put out any cash, a little time, and he could do it little by little between jobs or whatever, or he could have someone that works for him. He knows what to do. He just says, okay, Sophia, call this person, here's what you say, here's what you do. That's barter. Now that's a little more advanced, because typically barter is just one-to-one. But that's a more advanced kind of barter that involves, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. Understand? Any questions about that? Because there may be people that view this that have questions that you would ask. So, yes, Sean.
Now, this tax situation, because of bartering, is, as you said before, the tax consequences are much different than if you're using currency.
Well, let's handle that. And I'll handle it, bluntly, and I'll also put in the disclaimer. Just in case an IRS agent gets this video. Of course, Sean, we're always going to pay our rightful taxes. Being citizens of this beloved country. They do expect you to pay taxes if, for example, if what he got cost him more than what he is putting out, then he would have a tax deduction. If it cost him less to get the pool cleaning, then he'd have a tax benefit. Many times in barter, though, nothing ever gets reported.
Because you're exchanging services.
You're changing
There's no exchange in cash.
There isn't, but the IRS still would like to get their pound of flesh and pint of blood. That's why I put that disclaimer in there. They want it. So you would have to, if any of the people in the chain decided, I'm going to report this, well then everybody ends up liable for that. And technically you are liable for a transaction in this country where there's a taxable event. So if your pool cleaning only cost you 10% and you got whatever it was you were getting, then there's a taxable event there. If it's the other way around, if the pool cleaning cost you more than what you were getting, then you have a tax deduction. So this straight barter used to be used to evade taxes, but the IRS, and still, again, it could be used that way if no one opened their mouths and no one reported anything and it just happened. But if one person opens their mouth, you're all going to be liable for an IRS event. So technically, you'd want to prepare yourself to pay tax. Get some sharp accountant it's legal to avoid taxes, it's not legal to evade them. So get a good accountant to avoid as much taxation as possible. That's our right as American citizens. Now, in a trade exchange, it's even a little different. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay, but that's a great question. Any other questions about the barter aspect? Are you kind of clear on barter? Okay. Because probably, yes, Lonnie.
My question is, the value for what you're trading, do you make it equal to what you'd be getting in cash? Or is the value ever inflated?
Good question. When it comes to bartering, all Brewer really cares about is that he gets his pools clean,
Right.
and that he's going to do an internal calculation on, okay, how much is this construction going to cost me? If it costs me $10,000 and I'm only going to get $5,000 worth of pool cleaning, then maybe I'm going to want more pool cleaning, or maybe I'm going to have to do a smaller building. Brewer is going to make that internal calculation and negotiate that with Mark. So it's really, in a barter situation, it's not so much about the dollar, it's about the value to the individual. It may be that $10,000 in construction only costs Brewer $3,000. So he says, you know what? I don't care. I'll do it between jobs. As long as I get my pool done, I don't have to worry about it. That's fine with me. He may decide that it's okay with him if that $10,000 construction project he only gets $3,333.33 for, because maybe that's all it really costs him. And that may be all he cares about. But that's up to the negotiation. It really has nothing to do with the dollar value. Dollar comes in when someone wants to try to squeeze the other guy a little bit. Brewer then says, well, look, Mark, you're not giving me enough stuffed animals because, this cost me a lot of money. Here's my expenses here. Here's what it usually would be for a retail warehouse like you want. I got to have a lot more stuffed animals. Mark has a decision. He can say, you know what, that's okay. I'll just get it done for cash. Or you could say, Brewer, let's see if we can work this out. Understand? Any other questions on the barter side of it? Okay, let's move on. Now, as you noticed, even though that's a way to do it if you have plenty of time, it takes time to do that. Look what Brewer has to do. It's this phone call, then that phone call, and it may take, Sophia, as Sophia knows, you might have to call everyone who has stuffed animals in the phone book until you find one person who says, okay, I'll do that. Because the others will say, why can't you just give me cash? Well, it's not that I can't, but I want to do it this way. Oh, I don't know if I'd be interested in that. So then you have this negotiation, convincing, cajoling, selling to do. So it takes time. It's a bit cumbersome.